45 years.
That's got to be 700 to 800 games total. Where did you start, and how did you start in coaching?
Started out as a high school coach in Ohio. Was a head coach for 6 years at the high school level. Got an opportunity to go to a very small college called the University of Findlay as a defensive coordinator. We won a national championship. So went on from there and just coached at Notre Dame, coached at Michigan State with Nick Saban. Got an opportunity then to go with Coach Belichick as the defensive coordinator at New England. And then I ended up going to Baltimore because John Harbaugh, the head coach of Baltimore, played for me in college. And so there.
This sounds familiar.
And now I'm coaching with a guy that I coached in the NFL. So it's a unique situation.
All right. I want to know, though, you're the head coach at Kent State. You've got that program was way down. You turned it around with the help of a lot of good players and a lot of good coaches. I know you would say that very quickly. But you got that going, and yet you decide to go become an assistant in the NFL. What led you to make that jump when you've got a college head coaching job and you've got things the way you wanted at that point?
Well, Mike, part of it, probably most of it, was due to the family. I have 6 kids, 5 daughters, 1 son. And they were all 4 of them were in college at Kent State at the time. So I wanted to be around them and be able to really see them all the way through college. So when my last daughter graduated from Kent State, that's when Bill Belichick called. He had called me a few years earlier, and I really wanted to see her. She was a volleyball player, and I wanted to see her play. And so I waited till she got done, and then I went.
Where does your defensive philosophy, or I guess I should better say, where did your defensive philosophy start, and where did it sort of come from?
I would say the 2 biggest, well, I'll give you the biggest influence on me is Nick Saban. I was Nick's defensive coordinator for twice, and I would say that probably I model the system that Nick runs more than anything else. But then when I went with Coach Belichick, it was a very similar system that Nick had run, because Nick had been a defensive coordinator for Bill when he was in Cleveland. And so those 2 guys probably together, and then at Baltimore, I kind of took over my own and kind of tweaked everything a little bit, and it was on my own.
You have said, I'm going to read this, you've said in past interviews, if you could, you would blitz every down.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, we love to blitz. We love to pressure. We were, I think, this last year I would have liked to even pressured more, even at Baltimore. I think we finished 8th in the league as the most pressures by a defense. And I would not be a bit surprised looking at the talent that we have here at Tennessee that number will go up.
You're coming.
We're going to be coming. Yeah.
Do you work from the sideline or from the booth, and why does that make sense for you either way?
I've done both. And I really, to tell you what I'm going to do right now, I can't tell you that. We're kind of getting used to each other as a staff right now. And I think a lot of it depends on the entire staff, whether I go up, whether I go down. That's something that we'll talk about in the next few weeks. You know, we got a little time before that happens, but I've really done both, and there's goods and bads to both of them.
You told a story not long ago that I found fascinating, and that is first part of the week, you and the staff put the game plan together in Baltimore, worked through it, but before you presented it to the team, you called in Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, and Haloti Ngata, and sort of gave them an advanced preview because you wanted to know what they thought. Why would a defensive coordinator ask 4 players to sort of review things before the rest of the defense gets a look?
Well, one of the things you find out as a coach, this is a players' league. It's all about the players. And, you know, one of the things I can tell you about our head coach, Mike Vrabel, the smartest football player I've ever coached, ever. And as a coach, you can learn more from players sometimes than you can from other coaches. They're the ones that are out there doing it. You know, and especially if they're veteran type players, they've seen all these different things that just a whole different perspective than what you have as a coach. And so I always felt like taking the top 4 or 5 players off of the team that were veteran type guys and going through the game plan with them ahead of time could kind of head off some problems. If they saw something in there maybe that we didn't see as a coaching staff, that it rarely ever happened that way. But hey, I want everybody's opinion. It's not just my opinion, the coaches, it's the players, it's us making this defense go.
At the Super Bowl, Ray Lewis told our Jim Wyatt from TitansOnline.com that you want your players to be comfortable. That's important to Dean Pease, is that his players be comfortable. What did Ray Lewis mean by that, in your opinion?
They know what to do. You know, the only way you're going to ever play fast on defense is if you know what to do. And if there's any hesitation about whether I know my responsibility, you're not going to play fast. So they got to be comfortable with the way I'm calling the game. They got to be comfortable with the way that we've practiced all week. And hopefully we're so well prepared through the week that the easiest day is Sunday.
Ray also told Jim Wyatt, you love players. He says Dean Pease loves players. What do you think he meant by that?
I don't know. You'd have to ask it.
Fair.
You know, look, this is why you get in the profession. You know, this isn't about being up on stage or anything like that. It's being with the players, being with the coaches, love doing what you want to do. And what makes your job so rewarding is the players. It's all about the players, whether it be in high school, whether it be in college, whether it be in the NFL. I took a different road than a lot of guys take. So I really feel like I can speak to almost every football coach out there because I've been in their shoes at some point in time. But it is all about, you know, having young men that play for you, respect you, you respect them, and we're all working for a common goal, and that's to hoist that Lombardi trophy.
What excites you about working with this defensive personnel?
I think we have tremendous speed on this defense. And I think we've just watching them last year. Coach LeBeau did a great job. And they played very well. They made, like you said earlier, they made tremendous strides in the last year as a defense. And like Kevin said, I think when you have that kind of a nucleus and it doesn't change very much, the one thing that usually makes any great football team is continuity. Whether it's continuity on the coaching staff, continuity on the defense, and I think we've got enough continuity coming back with this defense. I really feel like we can be something special.
End it with this. You could have gone back to Baltimore. You obviously were thinking real seriously about retiring and being a full-time granddad, coordinating the grandkids, which would have been a good option. You ride Harleys, right?
I ride Harleys.
Right. Self-taught pianist. You like to play. Okay, but you have a lot of things going on. You had options, and you chose to come here to be with Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans. Dean Pease, why is this the right fit for you?
2 reasons. 1, Mike Vrabel, and number 2, Nashville. It ain't any better than that.
Well, I have to tell you, when it was rumored that you were thinking about coming here, every Titans season ticket member that I talked with, every Titans fan said, wow, can we really get this guy? And he's here. Dean Pease, everybody. Thank you so much.